By the end of this video, you'll understand how powerful no contact is in helping you move forward from your ex and bringing you to a new level of self-security. I'm John O'Brien. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. Here we discuss personal growth and mental health mastery. Let's get started. So if you're recently struggling with a breakup, or maybe your specific person has pulled away, you kind of feel your partner pulling away from the relationship or potential relationship, you might be pondering the idea of no contact. Now, if you've never heard this phrase before, no contact, what it means is you do not contact your ex or your specific person. You do not call them. You do not text them. You do not like their photo on Instagram. You do not view their TikTok story. Absolutely nothing. Now, this does not necessarily mean block them on everything. No, I don't think that's necessary. Now, if this is an ex who's harassing you constantly and being very abusive and threatening, then yes, you should probably just block them and be done with it. But that's not what I'm talking about in this video. What I'm talking about is giving space, giving distance, not just for your ex, but for yourself. So when going no contact, you need to stop all communications, because even though you may not physically be present, in your person's space, by continuing to reach out, you are still emotionally present. So you need to give each other space, both physically and emotionally. Okay, so why go no contact? Why should you do this after a breakup, after your partner has pulled away? Why should you do this? Why go no contact at all? Well, I'm going to tell you exactly why in just a moment, but first, I would like to discuss what no contact is actually for and what it is not for. Let's talk about what no contact is not for. No contact is not to get your ex back. It is not to get your specific person to come around. Now, can that happen after a period of no contact? Sure, that can happen. I've talked about that before in my other videos. You know, your ex might come to miss you. They might come around. Y'all might get back together. That can happen, but that's not what this is for. So here's what I'm telling you. Here's what I don't want you to do. Do not go into no contact thinking that at the end of this period, you and your ex are going to get back together. Do not go into no contact thinking that at the end of it, your specific person is going to come around. Okay? Do not go into no contact expecting any of these outcomes. Also, no contact is not to punish anybody. It's not to punish your ex. It's not to punish yourself. And it's not the same as the silent treatment, okay? That's a whole nother video, but that's not what this is. No contact is different from the silent treatment. So that's not what this is at all. So now that we know what no contact is not for, let's talk about what no contact actually is for. So this brings us back to our question. Why go no contact? What is it for? Well, you need time for your emotions, for your anxiety to settle. Okay, you need to give time for your dopamine levels, for your oxytocin levels, to settle back down to baseline, back to normal. Because right after a breakup, right after a big argument, right after your person has pulled away, your emotions are in overdrive. Your anxiety is in overdrive. When you are in this state of emotional overdrive, you cannot think clearly. You do not have sound judgment. You're prone to saying things and doing things that you might later come to regret. So you need to give time for those brain chemicals to come back down to normal. No contact is to get yourself back, not your ex. And to get yourself back, you need to give yourself time. You need to give yourself space, distance from your ex. And while it is okay to be vulnerable, and I often encourage vulnerability, you need to be of sound mind in order to do so, in order to express your vulnerability in a way that's healthy. You see, for anxious attachment styles, for people with an anxious attachment style, their instinct is to express vulnerability in situations like this, right after a breakup, after their partner has pulled away. It's their instinct to express vulnerability because they're very open-hearted people. But when you are emotionally compromised, when your anxiety is in overdrive, those vulnerabilities can very easily turn into insecurities. So right after a breakup, right after your specific person has pulled away, this is not the time to be vulnerable. This is the time to go no contact so that you can give yourself enough time and space for your emotional state, for your brain chemistry to settle back down to normal. And of course, this does not happen overnight. This can take weeks if you're resilient, but it can also take months for most people. Okay, so what do you do during this period of no contact? This period of no contact, again, it's not to get your ex back, it's to get yourself back. And that's the true power. It's in no contact, is the power of getting yourself back. It's hard at first. You're going to be tempted to reach out to them, reach out to your ex. You're going to want to fix things. But I'm telling you, you can leave the door open. That's fine. But don't be standing in front of the door waiting for your ex to walk back in. You don't need to lock the door, but let's close the door for now until you have completely come back to yourself and harnessed the power within of emotional independence. This takes time and space for yourself. So I am reminding you that you have your own purpose in life, okay? You have a purpose in life to be a painter, an engineer, a nurse, to make partner, whatever it is. You have your own individuality. And that's what you need to get back to during this period. And hey, if after 3 months, 6 months, or whatever, after that period of no contact, if you still want to reach out to your ex, give it another shot, well, now that you've given yourself time and space to come back to yourself, now you're in a place of emotional independence. Okay, your dopamine levels, your oxytocin levels they've returned back to baseline, to normal. You're not anxious anymore. You have your sense of self intact, and you have sound judgment. So whatever comes of that, reaching out to your ex, whatever comes of that, it will have no effect on you. Okay, because by now your life is already in motion. You have your own momentum going. Your individuality is in motion. So if you and your ex decide to get back together, fine. If they ignore you, it doesn't matter. If you just want to be friends, great. But now that you've gone through this period of no contact and you've gotten back to yourself and now you're emotionally independent, you can reach out to them if you want to, but now you do it from a place of emotional independence. Okay, now you have clear and sound judgment. And by now, they will have had time to let their emotions settle, to self-reflect, and maybe even come to miss you. Just remember, this isn't what no contact is for. No contact is for you. It's for getting yourself back, not your ex back. But at the end of no contact, after you have gotten yourself back, you'll have that option of reaching out to your ex. But now it's from a place of emotional and outcome independence. It's from a place of strength. It's from a place of individuality. And whatever happens, whatever comes from that, will have no effect on you. But you need to get to a place where you have moved on from them completely, okay? And if you do reach out to them, it's just to be a kind person, a friend, to check up on them. It's not from this place of anxiety, being in overdrive, and desperation, and trying so hard to fight for something with your individuality completely lost, with your sense of self completely lost. No, it's from a place of strength and independence. And hey, if a relationship revival does happen, then great. If it doesn't happen, you're still great. And that's the true power of no contact, coming back to yourself, getting yourself back. So, I hope that gives you a better understanding of what no contact is for and the power of no contact, giving yourself that time to get yourself back. I hope I brought some good into your life today. If so, please consider subscribing, and let's keep the conversation going. I love reading your comments. Share your stories, share your thoughts. I love interacting with you all. It's been great. And if you are struggling with an anxious attachment style, I recommend this video right here. You all take care, and I'll see you in the next.